Welcome to Fireside Chat number 3. This is Dr. KD Ewulu, and we're just going to go ahead and begin right away. So as I said, welcome to our third chat in the Fireside Chat series. It's entitled From Planning to Executing. I'm Dr. KD Ewulu, executive coach and author of the leadership handbook, Big Dreams, Making It Happen for Organizations and Teams. I want to thank you so much for joining me for this 12-minute chat or for watching a replay of this presentation. Today, we're going to briefly touch on sections 1.1 to 1.4.2 of the book. Basically, this explores the subtopics, a bird's eye view, where we are now, where we need to be, the how, and unrestricted mindset, and of course, how to formulate mission-focused plans. To make things easier for you, I will suggest you grab a copy of the book during and after the chat. The QR code is located on the Fireside background image and at the end of the chat. So I want to start by first informing us that dreaming big starts with seeing the bigger picture. By resolving to fly higher than others, this means developing a bird's eye view. The mightiest of birds, the eagles, of course, live in the clefts of very high mountains from where they spy their prey and then swoop down to capture them. Now, our ability to see from afar means that we should develop very keen observation, analytical, forecasting, planning, and execution skills. So my next question to us is, what do we see happening in our industry? Have we noticed the trends, the cycles, the threats, and the opportunities that exist in our industry or business sector? Do we understand what we observe? Have we accurately forecasted what the immediate future holds, even for our business sector? Now, all these questions can be answered with some detailed research. But a more fundamental question which has to be considered before we can make any traction is, where are we now? You see, as human beings, there's often the tendency to give a more glowing and optimistic report of our strengths and positions within the scheme of things, whether it be our levels of advocacy for our direct reports, our levels of delegation, the comprehensiveness of our communications, coaching, the support we give to our direct reports, how much we develop our talents, making things faster, quicker, expedition, or even sensitivity to motivation moments. We consistently have scored ourselves higher than we really are. Okay? This happens because we often consider where we would like to be at and not where we really are at currently. So I have, for the sake of this discourse, categorized our corporate positions into 4 main areas. Area number 1, new business owners. This group grapples with startup challenges, the business setup process, registrations, URLs, bank accounts, e-commerce websites, 5-year financial plans, business plans, funding concepts, action plans, and maybe inadequate staffing due to financial constraints. The next group I would like to highlight here are rookies or interns. This group includes those who are navigating through the first few months or years in their new careers. We're faced with knowledge and application challenges in our new workplaces. And some of these challenges could include the following: how to budget in the midst of scarcity, basic project management knowledge, skills, attitudes, how to sustain productivity virtually, effective and appropriate communications, and varied software hands-on competencies. And then, of course, we have the third group of people who are mid-level managers. Now, this group often struggles with breaking through the glass ceiling to top management, and sometimes they face knowledge gaps in the areas of change management, team dynamics, visibility, measuring productivity virtually, and project management office setup and operations. They also have to deal with inadequate visibility to leadership and consequently a slowdown in their career advancement journeys. And then, of course, finally, we have the C-suite leaders. This group experiences loneliness at the top because they have no one to bounce ideas off of, okay? Particularly in such leadership and decision-making areas as executive leadership, efficiency in virtual operations and administration, strategic communications, conflict resolution, optimization of their productivity, and of course, heightened employee retention levels. Now, having identified these four broad categories, we need to identify our true takeoff point so we can then determine where we want to get to in the short term or in the long term. So, where would we like to be in the future? To accurately forecast a roadmap for our future, we need to make targeted plans for the immediate future, which is within 1 year, for the medium-term future, which is not more than 3 years, and of course, for the long-term future, 4 years and more. As we consider our 1-year plans, emphasis should be on low-hanging fruits, okay? Goals that can be easily, quickly, or more cost-effectively achieved, so the team can be more motivated and committed to longer-range objectives. Now, medium-term goals, which are those, as I said previously, no more than 3 years in duration, should be planned collaboratively with team members because they require more collective commitment from everyone, especially during the execution stage. Now, team members' input with regards to costs, human resource personnel, and schedule should be incorporated into your milestone plan to ensure ownership of tasks and to ensure commitment to their timely completion. Finally, long-term future objectives are strategic in nature, and these often involve 360-degree participation during the planning stage with leaders, peers, functional managers, subordinates, and external stakeholders such as vendors, consultants, and end users, okay? Long-term planning is usually prescribed for career planning, organizational development, and leadership transitioning purposes. Now, the bottom line is that for us to dream big dreams, we must know where we are, which is our point A. We must know where we want to be, which is our point Z, before venturing into the ways and means of getting from point A to point Z, which is the journey. Utilizing a bird's eye view of the entire process does give us the courage to plan how to get there. So now the big question is, how do we get there? I ask that you put on a new mindset, one that is not restricted by any boundaries at all. So let's take a quick look at the phenomenon of an unrestricted mindset. At the onset of any coaching session with clients, I usually start with asking them to imagine that they had a guardian angel or a magic wand, someone or something that could give them anything they wished for, regardless of how lofty or unrealistic those wishes could be. Now, once they are in that frame of mind, I urge them to divulge their yearning or their very big dream to me. This, in a nutshell, is a practice of operating with an unrestricted mindset. Our focus at this point is not to worry about how to achieve this big dream. No, the focus is this: just dream it. This is usually the start of my gap analysis, which I'm going to describe in closing this chat session. I call this formulating a mission-focused plan. Now, once we have our very big dream, which is often called the vision, we then begin a structured assessment of our goals, the starting point, the ending point, what we're armed with, what we need to achieve to move us incrementally towards our goals, and of course, the projected time it will take to get there. This is called a gap analysis and incorporates oftentimes the following. Number one, our goals and objectives. What our overarching aim is, where we want to end up at the end of all our planning and execution. These make up our vision. Number two, what we now have. This includes our qualifications, how much money we make, how much time is expended, what quality expectations we currently work with, what risks we face, the quantity of human resource personnel engaged in our process, the number of units of product we currently churn out, and any other data that deals with our current situation. Number three, we look at our future need. What are the consequences of the intended change? And what do we stand to benefit from the process once the overarching goal is attained? This is our end result. And then number four, we're looking at our actions and commitments. Now we're breaking it down. These are the various actions we need to execute now and in the near future until the goal is accomplished. You should also describe the end result clearly so we know exactly what to do differently and how to recognize the accomplished objective. Finally, we have priority levels. This entails ranking the various action plans we have identified in the actions and commitment stage in order of relevance to the end goal, okay? And in accordance with the process towards that same end goal. This process is termed action plan prioritization. You're ranking them so you know when to go from 1 to 2 to 3, 4. You don't jump from 5 to 2 to 1, okay? You have prioritized and you go according to that prioritized list. And now, of course, you have your deadlines and milestones. Be aware that plans without calendar dates could result in just wishful thinking and missed deadlines. Our clearly defined deadlines and milestones should therefore nail down when each task should be concluded, when the overarching goal should be achieved, with details of calendar dates for each phase. Remember also that buffers or wiggle room should also be provided during planning for contingencies, and that milestones actually do mean calendar dates, and they are often preferred time periods. All right, so my friends, let's look at the big picture. Let's determine our need. Let's honestly identify where we currently are, where we want to be without restricting ourselves. Let's perform a gap analysis so we can identify sub-goals and phased assignments that, when completed within the stipulated calendar dates, will get us to our final destination. So what's our next step? I want you to join me in 2 weeks' time on this same platform as we review another critical lesson in the book, Big Dreams, Making It Happen for Organizations and Teams. In our next broadcast, on Monday, March 4th, 2024, titled Tactics, Strategy, and Contingency Planning, we're going to look at how to make practical, results-oriented, short, medium, and long-term plans so we can accomplish really big dreams. I will break things down as much as our scheduled 12 minutes would allow. So come expectant, okay? All right. I'm going to put something very briefly on the screen for you here. I want you to take a screenshot. There's a QR code right there. I want you to get prepared for broadcast number 4 by grabbing a copy of my book. All right? Grab a copy of my book. You can see the QR code on the screen there. It'll take you to the links below. One of those links is for the paperback for those of you who want to have the book in your hands. And then the other one is for the ebook for those of you who prefer to study electronically. All right? So I'll give you about 2 seconds to get that done, and then I'll be closing. All right. For those of you who can't get access to this, you're going to see on my left-hand side, there's a QR code there. The QR code there. You can also get a copy of that book on that QR code. All right? All right. So to make things easy for you, I'd like you to please connect with me on LinkedIn. It will enable you receive notifications about these fireside chats. We have about 8 more of them scheduled every other Monday until sometime in May 2024. So I want you to have a focused, successful, and satisfying 2 weeks. And I'll see you at our 4th broadcast on Monday, March the 4th, 2024 by 7:30 p.m. Eastern. This is Dr. Katie Ewulu. I'm rooting for you as you dream big and execute successfully. Cheers and take care of yourselves. Bye for now.